Peace, love, and light. Welcome to another episode of The Daily Guide, The Daily Vibe, hosted by yours truly, Pretty Boss. I'm recording this particular podcast episode on Wednesday, December 13th at 10:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For some of you, those numbers may stand out: 10, 16, 1, 1, 3, even 13. The message that I have here are for those of you who are ready to take the bull by the horns and ready to get everything that you've earned, everything that you deserve, and everything that you desire. This is a message for those of you who are realizing or have realized, are beginning to realize that truly you are powerful. Truly you have the power to turn the tables in your favor. Truly you have the power to transmute the past. Truly you have the power to turn pain to gain. Truly you have the power to empower yourself through your mind, through your thoughts, through your actions, through your beliefs. And those of you who this is for, this is exactly what you're doing or getting ready to do. This is the type of energy that you're literally at the finish line. And what I mean by finish line is you're ready to run. You're ready to run. Okay? You're ready to bring your own full circle moment to yourself. You're ready to make it all make sense. You know what I saw when I said you're at the finish line? I used to run track back in the G. And, you know, you have your short races. I used to do the 50 meter. I'll do the 200 meter. And I remember there was another one I did. I don't remember, but it's like when you do the full lap. I don't remember if that was a 400 meter. I think it was longer than the 400 meter. Anyways, there's a race where you run around the track and where you begin is where you end. So you do one full lap and that's the race. This is what I saw when I said you're getting ready to bring your full circle moment to yourself. You're at the finish line because you're really ready to run. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Your start line is your finish line. Your start line is the point at which you're ready to take your life to the next level. You've already finished and done everything that needed to be done prior to this. That's why it's almost like the finish line is the start line, because now from this foundation, you're able to make this all make sense. You're able to take everything in your life that has worked against you and use it to your betterment. Use it to, now you're going to do this thing again. Now you're getting ready to run that lap for real. But you have the tools in place to transmute. You have the tools in place to where now when you go at this a second time, now when you go at this for your second chance, for your second life, you're going to do it a lot differently. And whatever you do, you're going to make sure that you come home with the victory. The trophy is going to your house. Let's go ahead and get into this message. This is very interesting. Now, even before I get into the fullness of this message, I want to say there's a particular song that came to my mind, like as soon as I sat down to just kind of reflect on and meditate on the prophetic message for today. Okay. And I didn't even know the name of this song. So I just started typing in the lyrics that came to me and then it pulled up the song. But this is a song by Bryan Adams. And it's on the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves soundtrack, which is interesting now that I look at it. Okay, so it's on a Robin Hood movie, which is so funny. It's like, what is the thing of Robin Hood? Stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. But this is also making me think of that switch that's happening that we've been talking about, and even a very strong underlying tone of the message that we had the other day in the video called Birthright. I actually shared that one on YouTube because I was led to really share that one in particular. And on YouTube it's called You Don't Know Your Name. So this is a song by Bryan Adams, and the name of the song is Everything I Do It For You. I'm going to sing these lyrics the way that they came to me. Some of you may have heard this song before. I didn't even know the lyrics. All I kept hearing was look into your heart. Okay. And that's a very, it's like foundational of what we're going to get into here. So then I knew that part and the rest was blurry. And then I heard that don't tell me part. So I have the lyrics pulled up and I'm going to read it from here. Look into your heart. You will find there's nothing there to hide. Take me as I am. Take my life. I'd give it all. I'd sacrifice. Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. I can't help it. There's nothing I want more. You know it's true. Everything I do, oh, I do it for you. Funny thing about when I looked into this message, because this is a song I know. I don't know it verbatim. This is like my mother's genre of music. So I know this song from my mother's playlist growing up. But as I'm reading the lyrics, there are very particular messages here, and I wanted to sing it for those of you who know that song, and you might want to pull it up and just listen to it, okay? So we're going to get into the heart, right? We're going to talk about that, but even before we slide into that, and it's so funny because I can just give this whole prophetic message based off of these literal lyrics alone, because this is exactly what I was going to get into. And then when I read the lyrics, I'm like, yo, this is confirming exactly what I'm picking up prophetically. Before we get into the deeper aspects of this, there's a message here, and this came out earlier, a couple weeks ago, or this week, definitely this month, where I was speaking about some of you have somebody in your life who truly loves you. This person adores you, and everything that they do, they literally do it for you. Okay. That's unbelievable to some people, especially for some of us. We've had backgrounds that have been a battle, many of us, especially many of you who may consider yourself an empath, chosen one, disciple, starseed, right? There are certain battles, there's certain paths, there's a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges that we go through. So what we deal with people, and what we've dealt with people, many of us haven't dealt with people who are truly selfish. We've dealt with a lot of conditional circumstances and a lot of conditional love. So for some, especially a person who has that experience, it could be really hard to fathom a person who is selfless. Okay. And even with this being said, we're not talking about being selfish to a place where, you know, there's no self-love, there's no boundaries within that person or within yourself. That's not what we're saying. But we're talking about levels here. And you'd be surprised that there's people in this world. And it's so funny because we all take different roles. We all have different propensities. But there's somebody in your life who they may or may not have a different background from you as far as experiences. But whatever this person went through or didn't go through has them and gives them the ability to be very grounded in themselves and be very grounded emotionally and spiritually. And this person has a lot to give. And whoever this person is, especially for those of you, some of you, this could be a romantic situation. Some of you, this could be like a friendship. And some of you, this could be family. This could be somebody who is a mother or a father to you, or somebody who is like a mother or a father. But more particularly, I'm picking up, this is a masculine energy. in regards to this message of everything I do it for you. Okay. So this is probably, like I said, a romantic partner. It could be a male. This could be a friend, a male friend, or this could be a father figure or a father. All right. That feels that way about you. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the rest of this message. For one, those of you who this is for, you've been through a lot that has put you in a position of power and strength. And what I mean by power and strength is the fortitude that you have now access to within yourself. It's almost like I'm hearing, you come this far, why quit now? Right? When you make it to the end, that's one of the hard, that's where the journey really starts to try you and see if you're willing to take it all the way home. If you're really ready for what it comes with, if you're really ready for what it created. It's funny because you remember I was talking about the show The Mole the other day. And I really enjoyed that so much that I ended up finding like the original seasons. But then when I was doing research on The Mole online to see about other seasons, there was somebody who I saw in the comments in a Reddit thread that was like, if y'all like Mole, check out The Traitor. So I look it up, find out it's on Peacock. Shouts out to Peacock. That's actually a very dope platform. And they have like free membership for that, as well as like a $6 a month or $5.99 a month membership that it's really dope for the type of content that you get on Peacock. Like shouts out to Peacock. I feel like Peacock is going to be coming for Netflix if Netflix don't continue to try their best to put out hits, okay, that we haven't seen already. So with that being said, Peacock has an original series called The Traitor. And so when I started watching it, it was so good that I literally ended up binging it. So I finished it probably, I started watching it, I want to say Saturday, and I just finished it last night. So every time when I get in bed at night, that would be what I put on. So I watched probably like the last 3 or 4 episodes last night in bed. Ended up going to sleep kind of late this morning because I had to finish that show. Anyways, if y'all are interested, I'm not going to give any spoilers or any indications. But what I will say about that show is people all go to the show and they know that they're either going to be chosen as somebody who is considered a faithful or somebody who is considered a traitor. So either it's going to be a person who's being honest, they're faithful, quote unquote, or somebody is going to be a traitor. And so they pick a few traitors out of this group. And the journey is you have to make it to the end. And if all of the traitors are called out, then the faithfuls win the money. But if there's any traitors left at the end that faithfuls don't call out, then the traitors get the money. And there's less traitors than there is faithfuls. There's way more faithfuls than the traitors. So the interesting thing about this is as it gets to the end, it gets much more difficult, right? And on both sides, whether the person is a faithful or a traitor, it's like you have to commit to the end, right? And as many of you can imagine, it could be possibly hard to commit to the end for a traitor because now you've established all of these relationships. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. So what do you do? Do you stay faithful to your traitorhood, which is the role that you took on? Or do you fold? It's so funny because you can do either or. And if you've done all of that, which let's speak from a perspective of a trader, if you've done and you've traded and you traded and you've done this the whole game, like I said, at the end it gets harder, but do you now say, well, you know what, bump it. I've done all of this, but look, my bad. I'm sorry. Faithfuls, you deserve it. Or do you commit to being a trader to the end? Do you commit to that? Because you've already taken it this far anyway. It's that type of energy that I'm picking up here. And of course, definitely not calling any of you a traitor, okay? We're definitely a room full of faithfuls. Can I get an amen? I said that to just give context. And like I said, that's a show that y'all probably would enjoy. I found that very interesting. I like to really peep out how people play different roles and characters in society, because even when I watched that, it made me think on a larger perspective about people. Yeah, that's a game show, right? These people are technically actors, whatever the case might be, right? They're acting on the show, quote unquote. But then it makes you really think about life, and it makes you think about how people move like that for real and regularly. So I just love things that opens up my perspective in regards to human interactions and relations. Anyways, I said that to say this is that type of energy regarding the fact that you've been through so much already. So many ups and downs already. So many bad cards that were dealt for you from the front end already. So many sacrifices that you made already. So many times that you wanted to quit already. So many knockdowns, setbacks, defeats that you've had already. So many failures and lessons learned already. Why quit now? Why throw in the towel? Why be like, you know what? I'm exhausted from all of this preparation and training. I'm done. No more. No mas. And the famous words of the most famous Panamanian boxer. I always feel embarrassed to say that, Panama represent over here. The most famous Panamanian boxer is known for saying no mas. And if you don't know what that means no more. Okay. Why say no more now? No más. ¿Por qué? No. We're going to continue to move forward. We're going to continue to move forward with a different mindset. Maybe times in our lives have made us feel like victims. We've been betrayed. We've been this. We've been hurt. We've been sacrificed. We've been all of these things. Cool. It is what it is. Just throw it in the bag. I'm sorry, family. I always have songs in my head, but that one literally, I don't even remember who sings that song, okay? But we're just going to throw it in the bag. It is what it is, family. Sometimes you just got to get to the point where you look at yourself in the mirror, you like, bet. Just wake up tomorrow. After you listen to this podcast episode, just go in your bathroom mirror, wherever your favorite mirror is, and look in the mirror and just say, bet. Bet that up. Cool. Yeah, all of these things happened. Yep, these were the cards I was dealt. Yep. That happened. That was tragic. Things could have been different. They could have, would have, should have. Definitely. Yeah, I definitely deserve to be treated better. I definitely deserve to be loved as a kid unconditionally. I definitely deserved all of these things. Yeah, for sure. Bet. I could have turned out differently if this was like this, if that person was all of these things. Yeah, bet. But where I'm at right now, I can't change. I have to let bygones be bygones. It is what it is. The things that literally happened, that's what happened. The only power that I have right now is what we doing moving forward. Only power that I have right now is what do I know? How can I move? How can I move the pieces of my mind, of my emotions, of my creative efforts, which come from our minds, which comes from our hearts and our emotions? How can I use these elements that I have inside of myself to create that which I want? How can I turn this POS portrait that was given to me into a masterpiece? How can I rework this canvas? Matter of fact, give me the deck. I'm reshuffling the cards. And I'm going to keep reshuffling until I lay out the hand that I like. When I have a deck of cards in my hand that I like that combination, that's what I'm going to roll with. That's what I'm going to play my game of spades with. That's what we doing. This is the type of energy, family. Now, let's go back to the lyrics. It says, look into your heart. You will find there's nothing there to hide. Take me as I am. Take my life. I'd give it all. I'd sacrifice. Many of you, again, this goes back to one of the original messages that came out on the 828 podcast, the portal of your heart. Your heart is going to lead you to amazing places. And one of the things that is going to take you into the portal of your heart is to really ask yourself, what do you want? Start general: peace, love, happiness, success, health, wealth, whatever. And allow yourself to get as specific as you can consistently. So what I mean by that is maybe today you're general, maybe tomorrow you're general, maybe your general start to get a little bit more specific. I want not just love, peace, joy, happiness, freedom. I want adventure. I want excitement. I want fun. I want enthusiasm. I want passion. Maybe those generals get a little bit more specific. And then from that, each day as you wake up and think about what you want first thing, how you want to feel that day. What do you just want, period, even just out of the day? You're going to start to see that you start to really narrow down your focus more on what that would look like for you. What would reflect love in your life? What would reflect peace? What would reflect freedom, wealth, passion, joy, adventure, pleasure, enthusiasm? You'll start seeing that you're able to start zeroing in on the specifics of that energy and how it actually manifests and take material form into your life. And of course, this is with the assumption that these are also feelings that you are harnessing within yourself. But harnessing these feelings and focusing in a way to where not only will it have its internal manifestation, its spiritual manifestation, but its external counterpart or its external manifestation as well. The thing about it is you can keep it a buck with yourself. It's your turn. Okay? It says, take me as I am, take my life. This is so beautiful because how I'm hearing this today, like I said, I already told y'all how this could apply for other people, right? That somebody in particular who loves you in this way. But what I'm picking up so strongly for everybody that's listening in as well is take yourself as you are, take your life and give it everything that you've got. You've already made so many sacrifices. That's how I'm reading that right now, prophetically. Look into your heart. You'll find there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to fear. Okay? Take me as I am. Take yourself as you are. Take my life. Take your life as you are. I'd give it all. Give it everything you got. I would sacrifice. You already sacrificed. Why stop now? Why not take it all the way? Why not look at the cards that you were dealt and be like, you know what? Give me the deck. I'm reshuffling. I'm reshuffling and I'm dealing until I get what I want. Why not look at the things that have happened to you and put the pieces on the table and then rearrange the puzzle pieces to where it's like, okay, I like how this is coming out. This is the combinations. These are the elements I have. This happened in my past. These things. I learned these lessons. All of these things. So how can I take all of these elements and create something I actually like? Y'all know I think I've given this analogy before, even with cooking. There are certain things that you cook with. The standalone ingredient, nobody's going to eat that. Nobody wants to just eat the standalone ingredient. There are certain standalone ingredients that are too bitter or too spicy or too sour or too salty. But when you mix these things in a certain combination, ooh, ooh, ooh. Even when you make sweets, it's salt and things that are used in that. And it doesn't come out tasting salty. It comes out tasting sweet. But salt was using an ingredient of that pastry. Y'all feel me? So this is what we're talking about doing. This is about doubling down. When it gets to the end, don't give up. Don't fold in. Don't get weak and be like, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. Even like I said, in the case of that show that I'm talking about called The Traitor. Will the traitors double down if there are any traitors left at the end of the show? Or will they fold? Will they be like, you know, I can't do this. I'm sorry I did y'all like this. Y'all deserve it. In this case, especially you have been being faithful, double down. Double down. You have nothing to lose. Listen, it says, don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. I can't help it. There's nothing I want more. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. This is beautiful. Think about you telling yourself this. Think about your heart telling your mind this. Think about it. This is the message that your heart has for you. I'm going to read it again. Look into your heart. You will find there's nothing there to hide. There's nothing there to fear. Take me as I am. Take yourself as you are. Take your life. Give it all. You've already sacrificed. Don't tell yourself it's not worth fighting for. You can't help it. There's nothing you want more. It's making me think of that poem that I talked about the other day by Langston Hughes, A Raisin in the Sun. You know it's true. Everything you do moving forward, do it for you. And what I mean by do it for that version of you that has been victimized. Do it for that version of you that was betrayed. Do it for that version of you that was sacrificed as a kid. Do it for that version of you that was hurt over and over again. Do it for that version of you that felt outcasted. Do it for that version of you that felt betrayed. You have the power to bring your justice to yourself in your renewed form. This is the transmutation. This is the alchemy. It's you. You have the power to get back what? Your original state, your true form, your birthright. Do it for you. Do it for the inner child in you. We all have one. Give your inner child justice. Everything that we go through in life has a particular purpose. As chosen ones, Almighty knows we were, before we were formed in the womb, we were known. The Most High already had awareness of the different things that we would experience in this life on our path of purpose. And none of these things were in vain. None of these things were by coincidence. All of these things were purposeful in order to give you the tools that you need to crush your destiny, to slay your purpose, to serve. You've went through many periods of frustration. You've had to learn many lessons. For some of you, it's felt like, and many times you just have been in a tunnel looking for the light at the end of it. Like you were just up against a brick wall, the Great Wall of China, just blocked. But don't misunderstand that which you've experienced and that which you went through. Use it as an artist will use its paint or its paintbrush to create art. Use it to now build from the solid foundation that you have because of everything that you've been through, but not just only because of what you've been through, but because you took the time to grow from it, but because you continue to become stronger through it, but because you learned the lessons and took time to do that. From here, the ball is in your hands. The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's yours. Shouts out to Nas. That's Illmatic, one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time. Okay. This is a time for you to take it back. Take back your birthright. Restore yourself. The scripture says in Deuteronomy, God gives us the power to get great wealth. When I say that, in this case, I'm not even talking about just finances. This is greater than that, because what do we always say? What is a popular saying we have? Health is wealth. That means God gave you the power to get good health. And when we're talking about health, we're not just talking about physical disease. We're talking about the things that we deal with, our emotional health, our mental health, physical health, spiritual health. God gave you the power to get great health. God gave you the power to get great wealth. You can do all things through the one who strengthens you. You're rising to a position of power to where do you understand how powerful it is when you're able to take your past and use it to work for you? Serious question. Does anybody truly internalize the power of that? To be able to look at your past, and every time you go back and reflect on a moment, you're thinking about it in a way that is productive for you today. Where when you think about it, you feel empowered after having that moment of reflection. Now, again, you have to do this. For many of you, you've been doing this work, and so this is starting to become easier. You're going to see, even as we talked about earlier, you're going to be having moments of where there's certain feelings and things that are coming back up. There's certain memories that are making you feel a way that are coming back up. This is giving you the power to say, okay, here it goes. What are you going to do with it? How do you deal with this emotion now? How do you deal with this memory now? Do you fall back into a downward spiral? Do you fall into victim mode? Or do you figure out a way to transmute it to where when you come out of that memory, you feel empowered? I wasn't loved as a child. My life changed as a child. Things went different as a child when I no longer was able to do this, or when this person was stripped away from my life, or when this happened to me, it changed me. The positive about that is you now have the power to restore yourself to your original form. It changed me temporarily, but now I'm getting back to who I've always been meant to be. And not only who I've always been meant to be, but now an even more empowered version of that because of what I now know that I didn't know back then. I've been through a long road in life. I've been through a lot, and I have a lot of tools. I got a lot of pressure to apply. This was stolen from me. These things happened to me that was unfair. All of these injustices happened. But when I think about that now, you know what that, and these are all examples, you know what that makes me feel now? It doesn't make me feel like, oh man, life is unfair. Oh man, these people, it's irrelevant. I have the power to create my own luck. And I know about doing things in a way to where you have to be strategic with people, because when you give most people the opportunity to lie and deceive, they will. So you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. You got to go about your own due diligence and way of doing things to where you can justify it and make sure that your victory is assured in the end. Another way to look at that is I don't expect external validation from anybody. I don't need people to give me a trophy. I don't need anybody's award. I know who I am. And that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, my character is going to speak a million times over. People always know the truth. All of these things, and again, there's so many different stuff here. Let's say it's like, man, people trampled over me. People use me. This person used me. My ex used me. My da used me. This person used. Cool. Now I have the boundaries to where people don't have the power to do that. And if I never went through that, I wouldn't have the boundaries that I have now. So now I put myself in an empowered position. Now those cycles won't repeat. Not with those people or anybody else. I've learned how to listen to my intuition. I've learned how to trust my inner guidance, and I've learned how to put my mental, emotional, and spiritual and physical health first. This person is still this way. This person treats me that way. This person still da. Cool. I will continue to have boundaries with this person. I've learned to never rely on anybody for my internal validation, for my internal feelings. I've learned to never expect or even desire for anybody to change, but to use them just the way they are to my mental, benefit to my emotional intelligence and power. To always stay in alignment with myself, to always stay in alignment with the Most High, so that which anybody else does or says is irrelevant to me. Do you, boo, boo. But over here, we doing this. What did Joshua say? As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. Okay, I just had to say that. One of my favorite scriptures. So snazzy. Okay. Do what you do. But as for me and my house, this is what we doing over here. You feel me? This is also about, again, like I said, there's a message for some of you that there's somebody who truly loves you. You don't have to be defensive with this person. This person has showed you with their actions. But again, the overall is you don't have to be defensive with yourself. You don't have to fear anything. You can trust what you desire. You can trust that your desires are not going to betray you. You can trust that you're not going to be feeling like you might have felt in the former part of your life where you felt like a raisin in the sun, a dream deferred. You can trust your heart to not lead you to a place of lack. You can trust that your heart is not setting you up for hope with no expectation of fulfillment, or no intention is the word I meant to say, of fulfillment. No, your heart's not setting you up. Your heart's not deceiving. You can trust it. Listen to your heart. What do you want? Because that's exactly what you're ready to go get. That's exactly what you're ready to, listen to my words, go get. Whoever this is for, you're a very powerful person. You're very strong, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Your strength expresses itself in many different ways. Some of you, even your physique has a certain dominance to it. It has a certain look. It has a certain strength. It has a certain stature, is the word I was looking for. Any of you who are dealing with a moment of where maybe there are some things that went backwards in your life. Maybe you had to backstep. Maybe you lost some things that you'd worked for. Maybe you had to, downsize, or whatever the case might be for your life in regards to whatever circumstance. Let's say you were married and you had to get a divorce. You had to undo that. Whatever the case is, you have to see past this. You have to see past whatever circumstance that you're dealing with. It's temporary and it's really an illusion. You got to see past that, because you got to understand what's really happening. Don't misunderstand your circumstances. Your circumstances are, one, exactly where you need to be. I mean, exactly where you need to be. Nothing was lost. Everything was gained, because there are certain opportunities that you now have from where you stand, where you sit, where you lay, that you didn't have in your other circumstances. You're literally in the perfect environment. You're literally in the perfect situation to unlock everything that is within you and release hot fire. You're not alone. You're never alone. You have a divine, holy, spiritual team, guardian angels around you, surrounding you. Some of you, your ancestors, surrounding you, that assist you every day in regards to your life purpose, in regards to your personal wish fulfillment. Some of you are truly independent. And what I mean by that is you are different than the mainstream. You are different than the masses. You're different than groupthink. You're different than many of your relatives, friends, society, whatever, community, your block. You're different. And you are meant to be this way because you're meant to lead. Okay? You're meant to lead many people who are lost. And as I say this, I want to be very clear. You don't have to take on the burdens of anyone. You don't have to save the world. You don't have to force anybody to do anything. You don't have to feel obligated for anybody's individual journey. The only person's individual journey that you should feel obligated towards to is your own. And if you have children, guiding them as you should as they are coming into adulthood themselves, right? That is a responsibility of a parent. But otherwise, you're not obligated to not one human being on this planet. However, with that being said, many of you have a particular purpose and you're meant to be a light. You're meant to be a guide to many of these people out here who are lost. Okay? Lost all the way in the sauce. They sip in the Kool-Aid. You get it? So you got to trust that the way that you are and who you are is perfect for what this world needs right now at this time. It's different, but it's perfect. And it will be received by those who is meant to be received, by those who are also meant to perceive this light, because they're also chosen ones. There's some lost chosen ones out here, and many of us were once lost. What is the song? Amazing grace, how sweet, how sweet, sweet the sound. That's my Destiny's Child rendition. Writings on the wall, okay. So there's others who are just like us, who are also coming into awareness of who they are. Not everybody, not the world. That's why I will tell y'all a million times over, loud and proud, I am not here for everybody. Have zero desire and I have zero concern. I don't even care. I did have a point in my life where I thought I was here to save the world. No, I don't have that mindset. That's back in my earlier years, okay? I've been on this path for a very long time and I've learned my lessons. And part of what I learned is I'm here for who I'm here for. You see, everybody has different agendas. Everybody has different intentions and everybody has different purposes in this life. And I don't knock anybody else's choice or decision or purpose. All I know is I'm here for the chosen ones. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. So many of you are going to start to see that you are meant to be a light and a guide in a very specific way. Your awareness is rising. Your vibration is rising. You're tapping into new heights. Many of you are going to really, like I said this before and I'll say it again, your spiritual gifts, your intuition, your discernment is going to start to blow through the roof. It's going to go to completely different levels. And there's going to be a lot of things that come to you, different things that you dream about, and certain things that are just not meant for you to share. It's meant for you to know. And many of you have the knowledge and experience and wisdom to move like this, which is why there are going to be many more things that are imparted and given to you in that respect. But in this other respect, it's about taking these things that you know, taking that which is being given to you now, taking that which you already have and possess, and completely going for it. Go crazy, go ham, go wild. It's grind time, baby. Okay? It's time for you to decide who you are, what your outcome will be, and dedicate to that outcome at all costs. Because why? First and foremost, you've already made all of those sacrifices just to make it to where you are now. Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. You can't help it. There's nothing you want more. You know exactly what you want. And you know it's true. Everything you do, it's time that you give yourself justice and you do it for you. You are very loved. And remember that love conquers all, including, most importantly, fear. We were given not the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Use your mind when you need to use your mind, but don't dwell there all day. Let your mind be restful so that you can receive the ideas, the creativity, the insight, the knowledge, But use your heart, most importantly, especially now, your heart in a way to feel your way into alignment, into creation. Talk less, meaning let your mind chatter less and feel more. Pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking and how they're making you feel. Pay attention to when your past comes up. How do you or do you not transmute that? And in turn, how does it make you feel? Those things that make you feel that which you want to create, that which is part of your desires, your wishes, your dreams. Tap more into that. Feel more into that. Milk it. Run with that. Something that you're getting ready to put to bed, something that you're getting ready to retire over your life is completely that victim mindset, that unhealed inner child, that victimized, triggerable person. You're getting ready to retire from that. You're getting ready to step into a version of yourself where you're going to one day look back and be like, if I didn't know me, if I didn't live my life, I would have thought I'd never been through the things that I've been through, because who I am today, there's not even a minor reflection of that. There's not even a minor reflection of how I used to think and how I used to feel in the world. Who I am today, you'd think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Who I am today, you would think that things always worked out for me. Who I am today, you would think, even though they did, but I'm saying, y'all know what I mean, in the time, it doesn't always feel like that. Who I am today, you'd think that life has always been fair. Who I am today, you'd think I came up in an emotional, healthy background and upbringing. Who I am today, you'd think I had all of my needs met at the stages that they were meant to be met in my life from childhood on. Who I am today, you think I'd been given the secrets. Who I am today, you'd have never thought for a moment that I ever experienced anything opposite than what I now am. You're bringing balance to your own life. And you realized your independence within overall creation. You realize that you are one with the Most High. You are one with God. You are one with the divine. But you are clear about the things that you also must do on your own in order to see your purpose all the way through. You are clear that faith without works indeed is dead. And by your actions will determine and reveal your true level of faith. You are clear that it is time to pick up your bed and walk. God is with you, in you, and surrounds you. And now there's nothing that is stopping you from taking back what is yours, from reclaiming who you are, from stepping up and leading, and from going crazy out here in these streets. It's grind time. And it's time to celebrate, because you're literally leaving your past behind you for once and for all. Your past will never register the same way, because anytime that you reflect on your past, it is going to give you empowerment. People are going to be like, how did you extrapolate this from that? You are a genius. And you can look at them and tell them, I decided to take my power back. And I know that I have all the tools that I need within me, within my mind, within my emotions, and my spirit to do just that. So I did it. I ran my lap, baby. How about you? Let me know how this resonates in the comments. Until next time, have a great day, week, weekend, wherever you are. I love y'all so very much. Peace.